Welcome back to Horizon 180. As most of you know, it's time for the census once again, and Anahid Tovmassian joins us. She's a partnership specialist with the U.S. Census Bureau, and she's here to talk about why it's important for all of you to participate. Anahid, what should people be doing this year in the census?
Well, we definitely should have the clear message out there that participation is actually mandatory since it's part of our Constitution, and yet at the same time very, very important. We all reside in the United States, and we have to do our civic duty, our obligation to be counted. This happens only every 10 years. This is the decennial census, and every single resident of the United States needs to participate. And this time around, it's extremely simple because there's only 10 questions that needs to be answered. This is the shortest questionnaire in history. All it takes 10 minutes to fill out 10 questions to secure the next 10 years of our lives here. Why is it important? Because planning of America directly depends on the census numbers. The way it happens each year, $435 billion is distributed to the state based on the census numbers. So we want to make sure, as residents of California, at least for us here, that California gets its fair share of the funding. Also, we don't lose any seat in Congress because it directly also affects the number of House of Representatives, the seats we have in there, and also the redistricting will take place starting 2011. So since this many things depend on the census numbers, we want to make sure 2010 will be the most complete and accurate census ever.
How do I participate? When are we going to receive forms, and how long do I have to answer the forms?
Sure. It's extremely simple. The whole thing will be happening in March. Second week of March, every single address in the United States will receive the actual questionnaire. It's going to be in a big white envelope, and it will have the census logo on it, so everybody recognizes it's not a junk mail, it's actually something official, comes from the Census Bureau. The booklet should be around 12 pages, and up to 12 people can register under one questionnaire. So we need only one questionnaire per household, and it's very self-explanatory, the directions and everything there. The first person should be the head of the household who fills out the form, and then so on. Starting the second person is only actually 7 simple questions for them to fill it out. So once we fill it out, the form, we put in an already addressed and stamped envelope and mail it back before the April the 1st. Why the April the 1st? Because the entire month of April is considered the census month, and we start counting from day 1. So what happens if we don't have it by the April the 1st of 2010? Actually, the computer will tell us which addresses that we have not received yet. We're going to have to generate the second questionnaire and send it out. And we don't want to do that because that's totally waste of taxpayers' money. And if we do not even get the second questionnaire back by the April 15th of 2010, then we're going to have to hire enumerators to send out door-to-door to collect the information from them. This is very time sensitive, and we got to finish the operations by the July 1st. So we'll have only like 2 months from the May 1st to July 1st to go door-to-door to collect. And when you think of it, counting 310 million people, the entire nation that's happening, it's entirely big operation, and there's going to be 1.5 million people actually working for the Census Bureau to get this job done.
And there's some fines if people don't respond to these questionnaires?
Absolutely. There's a $5,000 fine for people who do not participate, because there's a certain amount of money that the government receives for each individual person who lives in here. So if they don't put their name to get that fund, then they're going to have to cough up that money out of their own pocket.
Okay. There might be a lot of fear out there with privacy issues, people not wanting to share their information with the government for whatever reasons. What do you have to say about that?
That's totally understandable. That's why Census Bureau hired specialists like me who speak every single language that you can think of in Los Angeles County. Actually, there are right now 58 languages. All the assistance is available for them to hear. All the questionnaire educational forms are available in those languages. So what we have to tell them is this. Census participation is part of our Constitution, as I mentioned. It mandates each resident to participate, yet at the same time, the Section 9 protects their answers. Okay, it's 100% safe. Every single address that sends this questionnaire back, that information, individual household information, will never be shared with any other agency of the government, individual, including the President of the United States. If anybody tries to break the law, like any federal government employee like us, we get to be fined up to $250 $50,000 and 5 years of jail time.
So complete privacy, complete confidentiality of all that.
Absolutely, we secure that.
Now, if I lose my form, what happens? Where do I find another form, or where can I go to fill out a census form?
Sure, very valid question, because that is going to be the case for some people. For any reason, if you have not received or you lost it, as you mentioned, there will be several centers within every city that they can actually go pick up a questionnaire, and those center addresses will be available online in a matter of a few weeks once we finalize the locations. But just general heads up, it's going to be mostly in libraries, churches, and post offices, centers like that, that is like have access to public, and people are aware of those locations. But anybody can go in there in a matter of a few weeks to know exactly within their zip code where are those locations. And besides having the questionnaire, we're also going to have a questionnaire assistance centers with, again, every language of help that each city needs. There is going to be federal government employee from a Census Bureau will assist them to fill out their actually form. So those hours and locations will be listed again online.
Okay. Now, you want to send a message out to the Armenian community telling them to mark Armenian as their race. Why is that important for us?
Yes, that's very important, as it is important for the entire nation and our states to have a complete count so they can get their fair share. And as an Armenian, I really urge every single Armenian to register as an Armenian, because that way we will get our fair share from the government for all the programs that out there we want to come to fruition. And that's the only way, because it is getting much difficult right now with all the financial difficulties to keep up, to create new programs for our youth, for our seniors. So that's the only way that we can ask from California then our fair share once we have the numbers to support them. We got to show that there is a need for such a program in order to get. The second importance of that, it's going to be, we're going to have our own representatives in different levels, cities, state, and federal level, because once they see that there's that many Armenians in California, we need to have our representatives not only within the Census Bureau, many different other government agencies. And additional on that, more job opportunities will open up, and a great job opportunities actually within many big organizations and companies that they're going to need Armenians. Once they see there are that many Armenians, let's say in particular city, they're going to want to have employees. As we can see in hospitals right now, like if for example Glendale Adventist, now half of the employees are Armenians. Why is that? Because there's that need. Since patients are Armenians, we need to have the employees, and it comes with tremendous amount of other advantages that we will be seeing next 10 years once we have our real complete number. And you know what? After all, we will get to know how many we are in this nation, where are we, and what are our needs, what we need to be creating in each state. And I really hope next time around I won't be the only one in the entire Southern California going and reaching out to the Armenian community, because other ethnic groups are doing the same job with 100, 200 people, where I'm the only one with 5 assistants who can be only local, going up and down California, trying to urge each Armenian to do so.
Anahid Tovmassian, thank you very much. We're going to continue our dialogue about the census after this break.